This is a video, 8 weeks ongoing without rain, and I'm going to just show you what that actually does. This is the UK, Peterborough. The last time we had any significant rain, 12th of June, after a long heat wave. All came down at once, of course, and a little odd shower here and there. Nettles struggling like hell. I could probably count the amount of fingers on both hands if I could see any grass. Put the foot here now. Now grass 6 weeks without a drought, but that's all died off. I'm kicking all this grass away. That is practically bare soil. It's probably not going to be too long before the roots, start fermenting and dying. No rain in sight. This is just hay. This is hay, this is now. The Japanese anemones, they're normally quite hardy, but even they're struggling, they're dying, they're burning, the leaves are going. Here is Indian pockweed. I kind of like this. That's come from India, but even that is starting to, go brown. That's more of a drought resistant plant. This down here is all dead. This is a fuchsia that I grew from a cutting, believe it or not, 2015. Took it from my mum's. That's one of them. Dead. This is one round here. Finished, isn't it? Got 2 fuchsias there. That's an elderflower tree. That seems to be the only one that seems to be surviving. Let me take you to the next bit. This is why I want to go to Westfields in Holland. This Maconica here is holding out. That seems to be doing quite well. They've got very deep roots, so there's still surface water around. The buddleias touch and go where they are. This was near a building, so that might survive a little bit longer. But anything that's got a deep root is okay. Now this is the culprit of the elderflower, which is growing where I sort of live. But if you look at the very tops of the trees, they've been completely scorched. All that, the air is just so dry, it's taking it all out. Let me show you a clearer one when I get one. Right, let's take you down here. This is a sorbus tree. Right, the sorbuses are quite hardy, but look at the leaves on that. That's not even the top ground. That's struggling. They're not dead. They're struggling. They're just shutting down. This is an oak. I'm not an arborist, by the way, but look at the tops of the trees. Completely scorched to death. Now, when I was on the horticulture course, the way they treat that is they actually probably fly a drone or something on top of that, and they irrigate these top leaves. They do that in... This is the sort of people we've got in the UK. This is why I want to get out, for obvious reasons. Right, anyway, taken away from the distraction, well, I'm just telling you about my horticulture. This is why I want to go to Westfields fields in Holland because I need to get into technology and horticulture and irrigation. Look at the top of those trees. In Arbornus, they're losing all their folions to the atmosphere. It's going. This is a newly planted tree. This went in this year. Council tax, of course, has gone onto that. See, that's had it. Look, but practically finished. It's not completely finished. Still got the buds on it. So, but you see, that's shutting down. It's too stressed. Let me just peel these off. This is what I'd do. If I had a wife, I would take this off and make sure the phloem in that woods. Look, that tree is, you know, stressed, but it's not dead yet. It's closing down. This is what happens when trees begin to close down. Here it's the Achillea. Now that's quite a very strong, robust type of weed or plant, what you want to call it, but even that's struggling. I've never seen Achillea struggle like that. We'll take to the next bit. This is some kind of laurel or euonymus. I think it's more laurel. You see, that's been stressed and cut at the wrong time. Look at the leaves on that. The leaves, you know, they're green, but the turgor on them, which is the terminology of the strength of the leaf, is a lot weaker than it should be. Look at the leaves on the ground. They're doing a good job. They're keeping the moisture in the ground. Making this up as I go along. This is what I'm paying my council tax. You see, down here, I was in Australia, Majura. They had the pipes down there. In fact, I've physically moved the pipes, which is the water pipes, all the way to the trees. Did this in Majura because there was a big massive drought. Similar to this, but the ground was obviously different. This is clay soil and this holds the heat. And we put the pipes along there by digging a trench. That's what we need to do. I know what I need to do in the UK, but nobody gets it. If you watch my other videos on Queensgate, you'll see how the people behave in the town cities. They don't know this is going on until far too late. Down here we've got, even some of these are succumbing to the drought. And there's a tree down here, which is, I don't know what it's called, but let me just see if I can get to it. Let's see if I can get to it. Look. Can you read that? That's dead. That's completely gone dead. I'll take you to the next bit. I'll take you for a walk. When you've got dry conditions in a garden, one of my customers in the video I'm going to show you next, I have a little bit of a rant. She says, "Oh, my garden looks so awful," pointing all the things at me. I said, clay soil, dry weather, not rain for 6 weeks. Here's an example. Just thought I'd show you these roses. They're reasonably decent. Even that's struggling. Lavender's okay. That's what you need to start planting. Probably floribunda roses. They're doing quite well. They love the heat. To take you around, this is Bishop's Road Park. And these are. This one here, not an arborist, so not too hot on trees, but I could be if I wanted to. See, look at the leaves. That is stress. Unbelievable. This one here is a sycamore tree. That's quite a spreader, but look at the top there. It's getting scorched. I think we'll have an early autumn this year. They're not dead, don't be fooled. Got some dead branches here that died off. Been to a few customers' houses, they say, oh, and I said, no it's not. I said, it's gradually maybe dying. You know, might take a few years for that to die if it carries on like that. You've got birch over here. It's the 1st of August. Those trees are completely closing down. The thing about trees is they've got girth, they'll shut down and conserve energy. And there's still quite a bit of water, believe it or not, under the surface. This is clay soil, so it holds on to moisture quite well. Also, sadly, it holds on to heat as well. Let's take you to another tree. Look at that one. I mean, that's a conker tree. Never ever seen them go like this. Look at the state of it. That is the sorry state. That's why I want to get to Westfields in Holland, because they do their innovation. And I think if I can get over there and stay motivated in horticulture, I think I could have a job for life. As you can see from my last video I've made. Anyway, this is not about the video, but if you really want to watch the other videos, I've made quite a lot. Just watch Quayscote Shopping Centre previous videos and you'll see what the UK is or whatever cities do. This video is about being practical. Oh, my father says to me, the rain will come, just gotta give it time. There's talk of it being on the weather forecast. And let me tell you something, when I was in Australia, Majura, Perth, skies were full of that for weeks on end. You can have cloudy sky but nothing coming down. That's perennial peat. Well, this is actually topsoil. This is what they actually, you know, the turf that they lay on is this. Look at the dust on it. Playing football. This is what I saw in Cordoba in Argentina, where we had temperatures into the 40s in the winter time, believe it or not. Exactly the same type of ground. It's messed up, isn't it? Never thought we'd get this in the UK. Oh, the UK, they say. Such a cold climate. But you know what? That's how it is now, isn't it? The thing is, what hope has anyone got, or a farmer got, if we keep having all these wars and they keep hiking the prices up, control or non-control, taxes, got to pay them regardless. Oh, I've got to pay my council tax this month. I've had no money, can't work the land, can't do anything. Oh, but you still got to pay into the system because, you know, X, Y and Z needs to be supported. The bottom feeders of society, forgive my terminology. Oh, we've got some plants called snowberry here. Now that's quite an invasive weed. That normally has pink and white berries on it. That's very hardy, so imagine that will carry on for a little while. But even that's starting to turn. Normally that's kind of a lush plant. So let's take you through this. Anyway, I'm going to take you and have a look at some of the boxes. Take an observation here. Now this is dogwood. I think it's come from somewhere in America, correct me if I'm wrong, but even that is struggling. And the hawthorn, which is a very hardy plant, look at it, it's all seen spleached. The air is so dry, it's taking out all the moisture. I'll take you along this route. I'll go quiet for a bit until I see something interesting, of course. Don't be fooled, that is not dead. This is where the old swimming pool used to be. Peterborough City Council. We had an asbestos problem with the brickwork. They took it down. But hey, we've got to wait a couple of years or so until they got the approved funding to put a new pool up. This is how, you know, brilliantly engineered the British government and the fund department is in this country. Let's carry on. I'm a nobody, by the way. I just, you know, make videos. Tell you something about these. The actual teacher that actually ran, one of the teachers who actually did the horticulture course, actually are planting the verges. So you got wild rose here. Is it a wild rose? It will have 7 leaves on it if it's a wild rose. Yes, proved correct, that is a wild rose. He planted all these hedge, you know, verges for greenery. This on top of there is the Frank Perkins Parkway. The second part of that opened in 1989 and the first part of it opened in 1984, 1985. You can see it's, we've got all the bindweed. That naturally finishes about now. But I've never seen it so bare under here. If only, here we go, doctor and engineer over there. Shouldn't say stuff like that, should I? So, here we go. Let's have a look at that ruby tree or something over there. These are just these have been planted for about a couple of years. As you can see, all this is ready to go up in flames. I'll show you a picture of one in Whittlesea of a fire. Even though they're the only ones that seem to be doing well. That's what I want to do with gardens, irrigation. See, this is teaching me lots of things. One of the positive things about the soil being dry is that I could do my soil tests without waiting for it to dry. Oh dear me. I think the engineers decided to, you know, up it. Like one of those birds that you get too close to, pigeons. See, look. Look at that. It's all things struggling, but you see, a lot of these have lost the battle. It's not, I don't know how bad it's going to get. Can't wait to make the next video. How bad this is going to get. See, people are, you know, are chucking rubbish. And the reason is that we've only got, believe it or not, only one skip recycling centre for the public to use in the whole of Peterborough. It's a growing community. Where's the sense in that? And if you look down here, this is what I'm up against: fly tippers, rubbish, and fireworks being let off, cigarettes, and just an ineffectual service. Let me show you something more interesting in a minute. That, I believe, was a recent fire that we had. You see all these flats that they keep building. Come and live in Peterborough and surrounding cities, where you can live in all the trendy neighbourhoods, where you can, you know, pay extortionate rents that you can never ever get out. Look at that. Being born on the planet just to say, to be trapped in an endless cycle of groundhog, living in one of these small cramped accommodations, no garden anywhere. And don't think it's worth living, is it? Might be off the doors. Come on, baby, like my fire. Come on, baby, like my fire. Look at it all. All this will be that. But you know, probably the old UK government, they've always got their noses in other countries. France, Spain, Switzerland, blah blah blah. It's where all the drama's happening, isn't it? Meanwhile, people who live in cities, I've got this to look forward to. Now, this is Finland. And what does Finland have? Peat. Read up on the Finlands, because our friends, the Dutch, have drained these areas. These are wetlands. All around us is CO2 sinks. All of that has gone into the sky over millennials. That's where drained it. This used to be underwater at one point. Not anymore. Look at it. Don't take long for that to go up in flames. I chop all this down. Fast on a survival course. Be easy to get a fire going, won't it? Right, I've been a bit crazy now. All these different types of grasses. I don't think there's a grass. There we go. There's a hawthorn there. I'll let you know. Got thistles here. They do quite well with the dry climate, but they're finishing now. Right, this is what they do now. All that heat from those buildings, all built close together, all out of flattened brick. I don't know if they're making bricks here, but they're probably built for the winter, or these are probably not even built properly. You see, you got to put yourself in that situation. When you're sleeping in these accommodations, you're technically sleeping on clay, which means you'll get all the heat coming from the clay, which goes under the ground, and the moisture as well. That all goes up into the atmosphere. More CO2. It's a vicious cycle. No, not even the sky's the white colour. It's, you know, more white now than blue. because the air's nice and clear now. I think it's a Montreal Agreement of 1987. This is the, you know, the outcome of it, I think. Here we've got mugwort. That's a very hardy plant, but even that's struggling, or I reckon it's finished, so that might be okay. That's quite a hardy plant, that is. Let me show you this one down here. This one's a wild mallow. Oh, that's a weed, people say, but it does the job, doesn't it? I'll show you something here. This is a butterfly bush, a buddleia. Now it's quite, don't often see the white ones out there. These are sort of rarer than the pink ones or purple ones, but you can get red ones as well. I have to give you my other channel, but I've uploaded of people's gardens to support the data a bit more. Now these are quite invasive, but they do smell good. This is like the buddleia, but people don't want them in, but I think they're very good for the climate, they are. So employers in Holland or wherever are looking for drought resistant plants. Now these are now, it's not all bad news. We've got the blackberries, not blackberries, that's it. They're doing very well this year, and so are the apples and pears, because the sunlight is more favourable for them. These achilles or something, or I don't think what they called on top of my head, they're quite good. But we haven't got a lot here, have we? There's not too much to see out of all this, because I wrote in one of my books, Tasmania part, about different woodlands, the versatile, that I've described all that in one of my books, painstakingly through Tasmania. I've actually documented it all, the history of the droughts, the localizations, local knowledge. But here doesn't seem to be too much, not a lot to tell. This is a little bit, you know, been left to its own devices. Well, you know, nothing ever surprises me here, does it? Not only are the plants dying, the lack of versatility or variety in hedgelands, but we have a Budweiser, you know, a Budweiser, what do they call that? Oh, it's, wouldn't it be sensible? Oh, they weigh a lot heavier to carry the things, but they can't be bothered to take them because it doesn't make any sense, does it? Surely many hands make light work, but you know, they've even put, this is how they've even put the tops on them. Some have even got the tops sealed on them. You see, this is why intelligent people who want to make a difference cannot live in society that is, you know, as it is. I'll have to show you something later. There's a very invasive plant which grows down Wellington Street, which is called the Russian vine. It's not round here. See, some of these like here are the thistles. Showed you them earlier. This is a different type of thistle. This is a taller one, but they're finishing now. So we've got buddleia everywhere, and we've got like this weed here has white and pink flowers on, like a petunia type of flower. It's called Morning Glory. I'll have to see if there's any in bloom. But here is an area of a lot of the hangout. The druggies come down here to do business. Here's an example of what I've shown you earlier. That's what I was showing you earlier in the video, the morning glory, wild morning glory. And I'm just going to tell you to the river now. This is the River Nene. This is a man-made river. See how that's doing. Did pond studies in my coursework and just need to observe. Oh, look here, we've got barbecues. This one's in action. Let's have a look at the weather, shall we? Oh, the willows have not been chopped down. If we've got something going here. I'm sure this river is low. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Believe it or not, there's actually fish in this. There's actually fish down there. The algae is a little bit wild for my liking. So that's because it's not been cleaned. Over here. And this is basically actually not sure if it's around here, but the water, there's been like a lot of fish that have been died down here. I think there's been like hundreds of thousands of fish that's just been contaminated and they do not know why, and some fishery has just come along here and replenished the Nene. Be careful because some people there probably don't want to be filmed. Not sure what temperature's like in this water, mate. I'll tell you in a minute. Right, so here we've got some purple loosestrife here, and down here we've got some willow verb, which is also quite a strong resistant plant. But the loosestrife doing well along there. The water, by the way, is quite abnormally warm. Sometimes you can have your mind can exaggerate temperatures after long hot spells. And here we've got, you know, encampments here. This is how bad it's starting to get now in the UK. Tents everywhere. It might be called Tent City soon, like in America. Alright, and the villow's nice. It's nice and cool round here. Anyone that's got brains would actually start planting trees. If the Chinese can do it, I don't know why the British aren't. I don't know what the British can't. Anyway, let me take you to a different area. I'm going to take you towards the city now. Now this is quite an interesting. It's at this one here. It's called a fire thorn. Very spiky. And a lot of the gardens is actually built as a defence area, actually for the birds to actually come down and rub their parasites off their feathers. Don't think I'll quite teach you yet, but I think I'm on my way. I think I'll be there. And hawthorn here, I think. Got the berries in bloom. It's completely, utterly parched down here. But as you can see, these willows have been chopped, but those ones have not been chopped. So they probably gave up on them. Probably run out of beer. So, what we got here. A lot of people live on these boats as a second home. In fact, years ago I actually spoke to one of the people who owned one of these boats, and he said he was going to try and sell his boathouse for $1,500. But I did some investigation into boats, and I said if I was going to buy anything like that, do your research. First, the thing is, when you're buying a boat, have it taken out the water and have it all checked by a mechanic, like you do with a car. But you see, this here is, people just don't seem to get the message. People, environmentalists out there say, oh, there's a problem, you know, rivers are being polluted, but the same flipping factories and the people are, you know, still producing it. Everything's, you know, everything's just, you know, advertised, campaigns. What for? Got some kind of duckling, I think there's swans here. Not an expert, but these are, you know, struggling there. They can try and find whatever it is they need to grow. But all this is heat and CO2. This is actually, I'm not sure if it's clear, but it's actually quite clear. I'm not going to drop the camera in the water, but I wonder if these willows have been stressed by the pollarding. They were done earlier in the year, so they should be okay, and they've got quite a lot of phloem in the trunks. These are actually quite old. Not sure on the age of them, I'll have to look it up. When I say look it up, I won't look it up. Who does when they're making a YouTube video? But like I say, people live in these boats, and these people are more interesting because they don't live in the city. They spoke to some years ago, and they do the sort of stuff that I normally do. They don't like the city. Some of them buy boats because they don't want to live in these houses anymore, and many of them make quite a good living up and down the Nene and elsewhere. Interesting people. That of them have come from abroad. A lot of them have travelled. I think in a lot of ways, you want to find diverse people, then come to these areas like the River Nene, or, you know, you'll find the people that, you know, will resonate with you a little bit better. And you see, this is actually, it's quite relaxing making these videos, but these willows have stood the test of time. And you see the hinging parts down here, which you can do if you're on the road, keep yourself busy. I bet that's a Honda generator, you know, that's A-frame. Got one of them myself, that's why I know. Quite relaxing here, isn't it? You see the people going up and down the river, enjoying themselves, having the time of their life. Another thing about these willows is they used to have these growing down the North Bank as you go to Whittlesea from Forney, and they've been absolutely obliterated because they have not been pruned properly. As you can see, the skill of the pollarding is absolutely terrible, because there shouldn't be any branches coming down from below. This is just complete and utter reckless pruning. This is what happens when, you know, when skills start to die out. You start getting shabby pruning like this. Say no more about that. I think everyone's getting like it now, innit? People being passed out the city. Never used to be like that in the 80s, 90s or 2010s. Oh, this is kind of only happened in a few years. Kind of recent, really. But as you see, this is a new-ish willow. Some of them get hit by storms, etc. So, But look at the state of them. Just look at the state. It's no. Thomas, we pay our taxes. I don't know where the money goes, but it doesn't certainly go on the trees, does it? Back in the 80s when I was growing up, everybody knew these skills. These trees were far better maintained than they are now. I must be like a flipping dinosaur. Mind you, I am turning 50 in, I don't know, 27 days from this video. Oh, you've got some kind of dandelions that are growing. I think nipple wart, I think. Something along those lines. But it's all completely... Oh, bloody hell, buttercup. Minuculus. Might want to do some foraging if you're a prepper. There we go. Some more morning glory. Nipple wart there. Occasional bit of colour. Some plankton. Some of those have struggled like hell. It's strange because these are white over here, but over here these are pink. So someone please tell me if you can stomach my videos why that is the case, why that one's white over there or pink. Is it something to do with the soil? I don't know all the answers. Got some spurs over here. These got their cones are coming on them now. Off the tree soon, but are these doing okay? They're quite tough, they are. Yeah, I think they'll be the ones to go. So if I'm going to go to Westfields in Holland, I think these would be, I think my mission would be for, you know, drought tolerant plants. We've got forsythia. It's not doing too well. And we've got whatever this is. No name of it. That's quite tough as well. So they're quite good. Anyway. So I want to go abroad. And my field of work is drought resistant plants and making these areas nice and green, but I can't do it in the UK because no one gets me. You've got your ominuses here, which are a little bit weakened, and euphorbias, and this is basically what I want to do. This, believe it or not, is a green area, green space. Now when I was in Broome, got it in my book, they had underneath here in Melbourne, they had irrigation like pipes watering the grass, done in nice and squares. I know because I actually put some plants in the ground whilst I was working holiday visa. Some of these are the right plants, but they do need, even the hardy plants need a little bit of assistance. So hardly a blooming bit of green grass anywhere. And look at the state of these. Even I've been to different parts of the world. No way are there the green spaces like this. Not even Thailand, it just isn't allowed. This is why the UK is on the back burner. All I need to do, I will be 100% okay if I've got the right people, the right tools. Nothing here. I have to go crowdfunding. Oh, nobody wants to know. This is a city. Nobody wants to know. Look, lavenders. These are kind of sturdy, but even they're not doing too bright. They can take the heat. but they need a little bit of help. Not a blooming bit of grass anywhere, is there? This used to be, back in the 80s or 90s, let me show you something on across the road. People had pride. There used to be volunteers that used to come down here and took pride, even though they had council workers at one point, took pride in the parks around here. But now we've got people that are just so damn impatient. This climate has just completely had it. This, once upon a time, gardens used to be completely all planted. There's annuals, perennials. Over there some goldenrod. Got some roses that are in bloom. It's all planted, nice, spot on. But now we've got idiots that are just, you know, being stuck on their running. Look at that kid over there, idiot, playing on his PC. This is what happens when you've got to working and the kids are left more or less get on with it. And they say, oh, being neurodivergent's hard, but the way neurotypicals behave, they're out of condition, they're fat, they're ugly, they're disgusting to look at, a lot of them. This is frustration. All this is like these phonians, they come from New Zealand. But look at the state of it. That's why I really want to get to New Zealand or anywhere that's better than this. Don't mean to be rude, but not body fascist, but this is the sort of stuff we've got in this country. Neurotypical bloody behaviour. It's unhealthy. I don't know what's going on with this. This used to be the pride of Peterborough. All nice and green. We used to love coming down here when I was a kid. These are what remains of spotted laurels. Put me in the right direction, I would, you know, be okay. Just look at that. No irrigation. No pipes. I could make so much money by doing this. But this is why I can't get on. I'm a single person. I live in the UK, I live in a flat. No one takes me seriously. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in gardening. I want to get out and do something else. Stuck doing low general garden maintenance. I can't do anything else. I've reached my limit. I feel like just picking a bottle up and, you know, seeing some of these people over here and just doing something crazy. Probably get me in jail, but you know, that's basically, I'm completely losing the plot now. But I want to move somewhere where I've got some creativity here. This is cotton ester. This is quite a hardy plant, and this is the stuff that I can talk to. I think this is called Russian vine. It's very, very invasive. It's only been in the country for a few years, but you know, they don't want to know about that. But they, you know, the fuel keeps going up, doesn't it? This is what I mean. This is strangulation. There's underneath there's an Aberberus. Oh, it's a tough old plant, but covering everything up. This was not here in 2015. This has only appeared in the last 5 years. Every year it's getting worse and worse and worse. You wouldn't think this is the UK, would you? If you're all these people that are coming over on the boat, think again. This is what you'll be entering on a temporary basis. Yes, you'll be doing okay, But once you get immigration and start paying into the system, you will see it how an English person will see it. Look, this is a hyperisteum, yellow flowers, that's been completely drowned out. You've got all the conkers of trees that go in here. See, these are kind of doing okay, there's a bit of moisture, but a lot of these around Peterborough have been dying, they're getting burnt, scorched by the leaf. Some guy asked me earlier, can I ask you a question? So I just turned around and said that. Probably go on ChatGPT, that'll probably get a more accurate response than what I'm going to give you. That's how it is, rubbish chucked everywhere. I don't know what the hell's going on. I went to college, took out £3,500 in 2015 to do this horticulture course. You know, you would have thought skills owned by the government institution would serve, you know, will be, people will call on you when there's a crisis, but no, oh no, that don't happen, does it? Here I am, still living in one of these stupid flats, and you know, I'm in debt, can't get anywhere because cost of living is so high due to the wars. Look at the state of it. Streets are all potholes everywhere in the street. This is a good part of Peterborough, by the way. Look at the state of it. Absolutely awful. Awful country. It's a mess. I've still got to pay that debt back regardless. Taxes keep going up, cost of living keeps going up. Where's it all going? Oh, this needs a bit of pruning. I know what we do, we'll just leave all that. Watch my videos on council signs and you'll see the attitude of what I'm up against. Oh, they say you can't do that. Oh, the council might cut these trees down. It's all the discretion of themselves. Different contractors put up different signs at various times of year. Oh, that's not our responsibility, that's their responsibility. If you want them to, you know, get a safe job, earn lots of money, work for the public services. You know, you can't go wrong there. No accountability whatsoever. Look at that phone box. Absolute disgrace. Absolute bloody disgrace. Look at the Russian vine. I've just had enough of living here. These houses, flat and clay, they're no good. Can't live in them when it's hot like that. Houses aren't built for the climate. Not a bit of grey grass whatsoever in sight. Area's just absolutely, I think everyone's just completely out of touch. This is like northern Chile, this is. Look at the site, Arica in northern Chile, you'll see areas like this. Atacama Desert, never hardly ever rains. You'll see all this, bare soil. Anyway, I'm going to end the video because I'm so damn depressed today.